Here's our KX125 project. Check it out right now. Who doesn't love the smell of a 20-year-old two-stroke? I don't think anyone should, in their right mind anyway. It's incredible. This is our bike we built with Brent, 2003 KX125. Let's get a little bit more in depth right now. So with these older bike builds, it's easy to get the frame, welded up and powder coated. That's kind of easy, frame, swing arm linkage, which we did on this bike. We put new bearings, new Pro X bearings into the frame, get new cables from Pro X. All those types of things are relatively easy and not too difficult. Engine is a bigger concern because if there's serious damage, it can actually ruin the cases and cylinder, and you got a lot of high cost in repair. Luckily, this one wasn't too bad on the rebuild. We were able to vapor blast the cases, and Brad at Parapros rebuilt the engine, and we used all the Pro X parts, rebuilt the crankshaft with our buddy Andrew Langston. Rebuilt the crankshaft, new Wiseco piston, and this thing is incredible. They say we've got the spec bolts throughout the engine, which look incredible, and that makes a really nice touch when you're fixing these things up, is to have all new hardware on the bikes. Okay, so the other big area or point is the suspension. It can be very costly and very difficult to find replacement pieces for the suspension on these 20-year-old bikes. You can't find new fork tubes, so those are things that you have to look for. Luckily, this stuff was in good shape and we didn't have to find any pieces to replace, and Racetech was able to rebuild the suspension and it came out amazing. Everything looks and works great. Okay, so a lot of pieces can be difficult to find, but we were able to round up nearly all of our parts in this thing and make it look amazing. You can see DecalWorks makes us up some really nice graphics on our MX Plastics. MotoSeat can custom make seat covers with the foam, actually, which is really nice. Have our ODI bars and grips with our flight bars, Champ Bend bars that we really like. And on the grips, we actually they're ODI grips, but they're made from ODI, but they're Motion Pro grips, which are a good feel to them, we really like. And this bike had some older billet clamps on it that we were able to clean up and reuse on this bike. So as you can see, Brent updated the front plastic a bit to give it a little bit more modern look up front. And the back of the Cowie doesn't really look that dated. Looks really cool. I think it looks really nice, and so no issues there for me. We got the Raptor foot pegs on here that we're able to get. Looking really nice. Faster USA rebuilt the stock wheels. Okay, so when Faster USA rebuilds the stock wheels, they can put on new rims, spokes, they can Cerakote hubs and do the whole thing for you, and they come out looking better than a aftermarket wheel in many cases, and better quality than a lot of other wheels out there. Okay, so on this thing, we also, when Brad goes through the engine, he also rebuilds the carburetor, so we vapor blast that. We got a Pro X carb rebuild kit. We use that. We use the PC jetting as a good starting point. We've had really good luck with that. FMF still has nice fatties and shorty silencers for these bikes, which is really cool. We have our Pro X chain and sprockets. We just have the lightweight MX chain, and then TM Designs also makes chain block for these bikes. So we have our Uni filter inside. Of course, you're going to need a new air filter on any of these older bike rebuilds. Okay, so if you're looking to build one of your own project bikes, one of these older bikes, I'd be really careful with what you spend on it. A core to start with, that is, because if you're going to spend $1,500 to $3,000, any of that can sound like a good deal, but if the bike is going to need suspension redone and potentially some parts, engine rebuilt, and potentially some high-cost parts in there, you can get really expensive really easily. So it's nice to get these core bikes for $500 to $1,000. That way, if anything goes wrong and there's way more problems, you can part it out and recoup most of your money back. So that's what I'd be careful of. Unless it's a sentimental build for some reason that you want to build your first bike, your dad's bike, something like that, that would be the only reason that would cloud my judgment on making that math not work. So hopefully that helps you out and on your build, and you can build one of these older two-strokes yourself. We'll see you later on the track or trail.